Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to start off this video by first saying I'm so sorry I've been MIA. I recently just got my tonsils removed and I literally could not speak at all. And when I did, I sound like I don't even know. It was just really bad. I was gonna try to find like something to compare it to, but it just was like a train wreck, I guess. It was just like it was just really bad. I could not speak at all. I literally took one day to just I didn't even say not one word, which was like really interesting because I don't think I've ever done that before. But and then like a week before that as well, I got my wisdom teeth removed. So there was a lot of things happening here, which is why I couldn't really make videos. It's kind of funny because if you go back to my last video where I did the recording and the emoji thing, I still needed to like record some of that while also healing from my wisdom teeth. So if I sound a little funny, it's probably because I still had the cottons in my mouth, and so that's probably why. Wow. I forgot to mention also, I did cut my hair and I've also dyed it. It's like this reddish purplyish color. I don't really like it too much right now, and honestly, for all the people who know me, I always complain about my hair. No matter how good it looks to like other people, I always hate it. I don't know why. I think it's just because like I need time to get used to it, and then I finally start to like it. But for the most part, every time I change it to a new color, hate it. But anyways, I hope you guys didn't miss me too much, and I'm sorry that I've been gone. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to be a trendsetter. So I've noticed that when I go through TikTok, a lot of the people who I see are always trying to show you what you should be wearing. Like, oh, this is what's gonna be trendy, like this necklace right here and pearls. But I wanted to try to and bring out that creativity from you instead of you just like trying to always get it from someone else. So the first way you can start to come up with your own trendy looks or figure out what's gonna be in trend next is seeing like what is the latest shows. So the latest fashion shows, the latest runway shows. Always take a deep dive and really look at every single brand and see which ones suit you best. So the way that I would do this is that I would choose a couple of brands that maybe some people haven't heard of before and just kind of look through it and see what I personally like instead of people feeding me what I like. The best way to look through the most recent runway shows is to either YouTube like specific shows, or you could go to Vogue Runway, which is what I do all the time, and I just scroll through and see the latest shows, and they usually have it right there on their homepage. And then I also can go to their designers and just go scroll through their designers, and whoever like sounds interesting, I'll click. I bumped into this brand called Ace and Dig, and I thought it was such a great line, and I feel like not a lot of people have heard of it or really like think of it as a luxury brand. But I feel like the best part about it being in Vogue is that you already know that this is like a good brand because Vogue is a trustworthy source. So I ended up scrolling through Ace and Jigs, and I saw that a lot of like the theme was patterns, and I thought about like trips that maybe I could go on and wear these things too, and it definitely can go easily in street style. Another thing that I do is that I'll go through a specific designer, someone that we've heard of before. So like let's just say Bottega. I would go through Bottega and look at their latest runway show, and instead of going directly to what people have to say about the show itself, I'll look through and I'll see stuff like colors. So obviously we all know that right now the biggest color for Bottega is that like greenish tone, and it's really nice, and that's becoming a trend. So before reading into stuff like that, I'll just look through the brand and point out certain things that I spot the most, and then that's how I'll know if it's gonna become a trend or not. Just kind of do your own observations and figure out what you think is going to become the trend. So the next thing I want to bring up is finding a designer that you like specifically. Then it becomes easier to find trends in that designer's latest looks. So for instance, my favorite designer, and I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but my favorite designer is Kanye West, now known as Ye. I still feel weird saying his name because it makes me feel like I know him. I need to get used to it, but yes, I am a really big fan of him and I really do love his clothes. And so when I go through his runway shows, it becomes a lot easier for me because then I could see what colors he's using, which is usually minimalistic colors like whites and neutrals and very rich colors. So that's what I like about his style, his clothing. So I'll keep in mind of that. And then I'll see what fabrics he's using for his newest shows. So the latest show that I saw that he had there, he used a lot of these like cotton materials, but like not like a cotton shirt like here, but like the texture of cotton, which I thought was really dope and really liked that specifically. I know you're not gonna get to find things that you like to the T. Like I'm not gonna be able to find something like that right away in stores. So instead I had to kind of opt out for maybe the style of the clothing instead of the fabrics that was used, or just the colors like I said, and maybe find some materials that kind of mimic the same idea. So another thing that I want to mention as well is picking an era you like. So choosing an era is really important in finding a trend. So we saw a lot of this, I would say like in 2015 we saw a lot of 90s coming back up. Even in 2021 I saw a lot of 90s fashion coming back, and definitely things like trendy things like high-waisted pants, even like makeup which is funny because I kind of have that 90s theme makeup too, is where you just put the lip liner and then the gloss and then that's it. So a lot of 90s things are coming back, a lot of 2000s things are coming back, and I saw this mainly last year. It was a lot of 2000s. Miu Miu was like the best example of this, and I thought all of their clothes were just beautiful in that runway show. So you saw a lot of like the mini skirts coming back, those big like sunglasses, not like big, but like the mirrored sunglasses. That's something to also keep in mind. Like what do you like when you think of 2022 now? What do you think is gonna be the next big era to come back? Or you can even think of like future things. So something like that aluminum foil kind of fabric, or even transparent, and like it has nothing really like not too much to do with the fabric, but also just like the way things are made. And I'm sorry, I'm like still thinking about Ye, but definitely like when I think about like futuristic things, I would think about some of his clothing. And Y Project, I think they have something that's like more new. I just think it's very futuristic, and I've seen other brands kind of borrowing the same idea. Just think of an era that you think will become a trend and kind of follow through with that. So the next thing I want you to look out for is colors. So colors are really important for every season. So every season we're gonna find a new color that we think is super trendy. So like I said, Bottega had that green color. Another color I saw that was becoming popular was that butter yellow became super popular in the summertime, and I still feel like it hasn't really worn off yet. I feel like it still has its time to shine next summer. So those two colors I think were definitely a big hit. I also want you to find the colors that really pop out to you, and colors that maybe work on your skin tone or your mood, or just trying to figure out what you think other people would like. So a lot of the times trends is that exactly, like you're trying to figure out what other people will want to wear, hence trend analysis. So just try to figure out what colors you think suit you, and then that way you can kind of bring that color out, or find a color that you think other people would like, and then still again try to bring that color out. The best way to do this, I believe, is to just go through Pinterest and literally look through colors. Just put like color wheels and stuff and kind of see and fill out what colors you think really just suit the season. For instance, I think this was like 2 years ago or a year ago, I went through Pinterest to figure out what colors I think is gonna be most popular for the newest season, and I always try to think about what season is next, so I don't really think about winter stuff now. Like, even though it's winter, my brain is already in spring. That's why I saved all of these pieces, but that is something to definitely look into. Lastly, after you've chose the thing that you think is going to be the next biggest trend, stick to it. So whatever it is, whether it be like the type of clothing, the material, the color, whatever, just when you buy it, wear it and kind of like stay true to it for a while. The best examples I have of this is like artists. Like, you see a lot of artists just wearing things and sticking to it for a while. Then that's when people are like, oh, I kind of like that, I want to buy that. An example would be like Pharrell with his hat, his big hat. And the thing about that hat is that not everybody could pull that hat off, so it kind of just worked in his favor, because then like people really want it because they're like, oh, I want to try that hat on. And I saw like, I don't know, like Future wearing the hat like I think years later, or maybe a couple of years later. Another person I would say is Drake. When he wore the turtlenecks for a while there, he was wearing those like really heavy knitted turtlenecks, and that was like his thing, I think, for like one whole year. I think it was like 2016 or 2015. He was wearing that for quite some time, and that made more men comfortable wearing turtlenecks, because I feel like I hadn't seen a lot of men wearing turtlenecks until he started to wear turtlenecks. So I mean, that might just be here in New York, and only my observation. So yeah, don't get mad at me if if you're like, I didn't see anybody wearing turtlenecks. And the last like person I would say as an artist is Ariana Grande, with like her big long knee-high boots, and then with the big puffer jacket and the chokers. I feel like I saw her wear that throughout all of like, I think I want to say 2017, 2018. She was like non-stop wearing all of those things with the high pony. She was super known for that. That's why I'm just suggesting that whatever you choose, just stick with it. And with that also being said, please choose something that makes you feel confident and something that you actually like. When you choose something that you think other people are gonna like too much, then you start to lose who you are. And I don't want you guys to just lose focus on who you are, because when I was in the fashion industries, or when I was working in the fashion industries, I noticed a lot of the times that women would want you to stick to one thing, in this box of like limitation to what you can wear. And I've seen this like all throughout like Instagram and social media and stuff, but it makes more sense in social media because you're trying to find an image and a brand, I guess. But in real life, I think it's okay to try new things. Like, if one day you want to wear a jersey and the next day you want to wear a maxi skirt, then so be it. Like, try out the things that you like instead of just sticking to one thing, because trust me, you're gonna, and if you definitely love fashion, you're gonna find it so boring. So just keep finding things, experiment with what you like, what you don't like. Another good example of this would be The Weeknd. So The Weeknd recently in interviews was kind of upset about the whole red suit thing. Not because he didn't like wearing that red suit, it was just like constantly having to wear that red suit was draining for him. So don't be like him and choose something that you kind of hate, and choose something that you like and then just stick with it for a while until you think that, you know, you've made your point, and then move on. If you're like one of those people who gets mad about like other people kind of copying your style or getting the things that you're buying, you can't get mad at that, because that's the whole point of becoming a trendsetter. Feel proud about that, because maybe you started that trend. That is literally how style icons become icons. Like Rihanna and Zendaya, and I'm sorry to say, but Kim Kardashian is surely a trendsetter. And they all have different styles, but they all make it work to their specific image. So like with Rihanna, she honestly, anything she wears is just like chef's kiss. One thing bad about anything she's worn, even the Met Gala look, I know that everybody was like hating on because it literally looked like she was wearing a blanket, but it just works on her. Anything really works on her. And I've noticed that like she's set a lot of trends. Like she set the furry bucket hat trend, the silk dress trend, that we wear our lip liner, makeup, everything. Every girl wants what she has or tries to copy some of the things that she does, and it really sometimes only works on her. And one of the things that made me laugh about this was like that whole skirt. It was like her skirt kind of being a little bit shown, with then the like white button down, and then on top she would wear something else, and then like have the white button down kind of be the same size as the skirt. And so many girls try to do that trend, and it did not work for like majority of the women who tried it. That's why people love what she wears so much. And as far as Zendaya, she's always trying new things, and it matches like her. It just, everything she chooses just seems to suit her perfectly. And I just love Zendaya's style, especially now, because she's trying new things and it just works. Like I haven't seen anything that I haven't liked. Even this recent look that she pulled off with the white and black stripes, I didn't think that I would like it so much, because every time I see white and black stripes, I always think of like Beetlejuice. But it looked amazing on her, and I definitely liked the cut here. I thought that just made the dress that much more special. And as far as Kim, she is a trendsetter. Like the clothes that she wears always just suits her well, because she always finds things to snatch her body in. I think that she's also brought in a lot of trends and is still bringing in trends, especially with what she's been wearing recently, with the whole gloves and the tight bodysuit with like the big furry coats and stuff. And if you don't believe me, I literally just saw Alexa Demi, my queen, wearing pretty much the same thing, just like this bodysuit, this green bodysuit with the big fur. And so yeah, the biggest takeaway from this all is to just have fun with fashion. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you wore something and you look back at like pictures and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I even wore that. Like, don't be mad at yourself, because sometimes I'm more mad about following trends than I am about wearing my own thing. So just remember that. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and again, I apologize that I was gone for so long. I'm gonna try to post at least every Thursday, just so then just to give you some new content. And I do have a lot of things that I want to be sharing with you guys, so stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you next time.